Hey, warriors. One afternoon, a man walked into his boss's office and quit. No backup plan, no savings, no guarantee that anything was waiting for him on the other side. His colleagues decided he had lost his mind. His family was terrified. Even he, if he was being honest, trembled with fear inside. But something within him knew. He had sat in that office for 6 years, worked hard, arrived earlier than everyone else, done everything right. And every year, success seemed just as far away as it had the year before. Not because he was lazy, not because he lacked talent, but because he was pouring all his energy into running in a direction that would never take him where he truly needed to go. The next 18 months, that man built something out of nothing. There were weeks without money, weeks without results, weeks when every voice around him said, "Come back." He did not go back. Today his business operates in 3 countries. Not because he got lucky, not because he was born special, but because he finally stopped doing the one thing that was quietly killing all his chances and started doing 5 things that drew success directly toward him. Those 5 things are exactly what we are going to look at today, and I want to say this to you right now. These are not just pleasant tips. These are not empty motivational words that sound beautiful, but change nothing. These are real, concrete, honest shifts in the way you think, the way you speak, the way you wait, and the way you act. Shifts that change the direction success moves toward you, not away from you. Here is a quote I want you to carry with you through everything we are about to discuss. Jim Rohn said, "Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And change begins today in this video, if you allow it." Before we get to the 5 secrets, do 3 things right now. Hit the like button, leave a comment below, share this video with one person in your life who needs it today, and subscribe to this channel because every week we bring you real, honest, life-changing content just like this. Please do not miss a single moment of this video. Every secret connects to the next. Stay with me until the end. I promise it is worth it. This video is for those who are ready to stop chasing and start receiving. If that is you, prove it right now and write it in the comments. I attract, I do not chase. Number 1, stop chasing success. All right, let's begin with what will probably surprise you the most. The first secret that draws success towards you is this: stop chasing it. Now I know what you are thinking. Am I not supposed to strive for what I want? Am I not supposed to work hard, stay hungry? Yes, absolutely. Hard work matters, showing up matters. But there is a vast difference between working hard with peace and chasing with desperation. And most people do not realize they are chasing with desperation. Here is what desperate chasing looks like in real life. You refresh your phone every 5 minutes waiting for a response. You cannot sleep because you are obsessed with results. You change your plan every week because nothing feels fast enough. You look at other people and feel sick inside. You feel that if this one thing does not work, it is all over. That feeling, that tense, anxious, suffocating feeling, that is the energy of pursuit. And here is the problem: the energy of pursuit repels. Think about it in real life. If someone is desperately seeking your attention, if they text you 10 times in a row, if they need your validation every hour, what do you naturally want to do? You pull back. You create distance. It is uncomfortable to be around that energy. Success works in exactly the same way. When you act from desperation, when your entire sense of self-worth depends on a single outcome, you make worse decisions. You talk too fast in meetings. You agree to bad deals because you just need something to work. You skip important steps because you want to get there already. But the person who is calm, who works hard while trusting the process, that person makes better decisions, speaks with greater confidence, attracts better opportunities because they are not acting from fear. They are acting from faith. This is not a new idea. The Stoic philosophers understood it thousands of years ago, and one of them said it in a way I will never forget. Seneca once said something I want you to truly hear. He who is everywhere is nowhere. Read that again slowly, because that one line could save you years. When you chase everything at once, when your energy is scattered in 10 directions because you desperately want something to work, you are nowhere. You are not fully present in any one thing, and nothing great was ever built by someone who was mentally nowhere. The psychologist Abraham Maslow studied the most successful and fulfilled people he could find. One thing appeared consistently among all of them. They were not desperately attached to outcomes. They were devoted to their work, but not controlled by results. That is the difference, and it changes everything. So what does this look like for you? Starting today, do your work fully with everything you have. Then step back, breathe, trust that what is meant for you responds to your efforts. Stop checking obsessively. Stop comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20. Stop making today's world dependent on tomorrow's result. Work as though it matters. Rest as though it is already coming. That combination, full effort plus inner peace, carries a magnetism that desperation can never have. Success does not run toward people who desperately chase it. It comes to people who build steadily and trust quietly. Be that person right now. I want to know where you are on your journey. Write it below so the community can see you. Calm builds empires. Number 2, silence your doubt. Let me ask you a personal question. What does the voice inside your head say when you are alone, when no one is watching, when you lie in bed at night trying to fall asleep? Does it say, you are on the right path, keep going, you are going to make it? Or does it say, who do you think you are? This is never going to work. Other people can do this, but not you. For most people, if they are absolutely honest, it is the second, and that voice costs them everything. Here is what no one tells you about doubt. Doubt is not just an emotion. It is not just a feeling that comes and goes like rain. Doubt is a signal your brain sends to your entire body, and your body responds to it as though it were completely real. When you doubt yourself constantly, your body tightens, your breathing becomes shallow, your voice gets quieter in rooms where it should be loud, your decisions become timid. You stay in situations that are too small for you because doubt has convinced you that you do not deserve anything more. And all of that, every physical and behavioral response that doubt triggers, pushes success further away from you. One of the greatest thinkers who ever lived fought this same battle. He was not a self-help guru. He was a Roman emperor, and he wrote about doubt and the mind in ways that are just as relevant today as they were 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius once said something I want you to truly hear. You have power over your mind, not over outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Read that again slowly, because that one line could save you years. The doubt in your head is not truth. It is an event, and you have power over how you respond to it. That is the whole game. So how do you silence doubt? Not by pretending it is not there, not by forcing a false positivity that feels unreal, but by doing one specific thing. You answer it with evidence. When doubt says, you are not good enough, you do not just say, yes, I am, as an empty chant. You find real evidence. You recall a hard thing you did last year that you did not think you could do. You recall a moment when you showed up even when you were completely terrified. You recall a time when you came through even when you had no idea how. That evidence is real, and your brain responds to real evidence. Start building what some psychologists call an evidence list, a simple personal record of times you did hard things, times you came through for yourself, times you surprised everyone, including yourself. Read it when the doubt gets loud, not as a magic trick, but as a sincere reminder of who you actually are. Because doubt lies. It takes your worst moment and calls it your permanent truth. That is not true. Your best moments are just as true, and there are far more of them than you ever remember to count. Silence doubt with evidence and watch how differently you begin to move through the world. That inner voice has been lying to you long enough. Silence it right now by writing this in the comments. Doubt dies here. Number 3, align your actions with your words. This is simple but so important and so often ignored that I have to say it clearly and directly. You cannot say one thing and do another and expect success to take you seriously. I know that sounds harsh, but stay with me, because this may be the most honest thing anyone has said to you in a long time. Most people have a gap, a space between what they say they want and where their everyday actions are actually pointed. They say, I want to be successful, but they spend 4 hours a day on their phone doing nothing that moves them forward. They say, I am committed to this goal, but they quit every time it becomes uncomfortable. They say, I believe in myself, but they never take the risk that actually requires self-belief. That gap, the space between words and actions, is exactly where success leaks out. And here is the deeper problem most people never see. Every time you say you will do something and then do not, you send a message directly to your own subconscious. The message is, my word means nothing. And a person whose word means nothing even to themselves cannot build anything lasting. There was a former slave who became one of the most powerful philosophers in history. His name was Epictetus. He had nothing, no money, no freedom at the beginning of his life, no comfort, and yet he understood something about human behavior that most wealthy and comfortable people never figure out. Epictetus once said something I want you to truly hear. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Read that again slowly, because that one line could save you years. Say it first, then do it, in that order every time. That is the whole secret to closing the gap between where you are and where you want to be. There is a concept in psychology called cognitive dissonance, the uncomfortable feeling that arises when your beliefs and your actions do not match. Most people handle that discomfort by changing their beliefs to match their actions, rather than changing their actions to match their beliefs. They lower their standards instead of raising their behavior. They tell themselves, it's fine, it's not that important, maybe I didn't want it that badly. Do not do that. That is how people spend years going absolutely nowhere. Instead, close the gap one small promise at a time. Here is a real example of what that looks like. There was a young man who told everyone he wanted to start a business. For 2 years, he talked about it. He researched endlessly. He made detailed plans, but he never started. One day, someone asked him a simple question. What can you do today, right now, that would move this forward even a little? That same evening, he sat down and built one page of his website. Just one page. Nothing impressive to an outside observer, but something completely real. And that one action, that one moment when his behavior finally matched his words, changed something deep inside him. The gap narrowed a little, and he kept narrowing it, small action by small action. 6 months later, he had a real business generating real income, not because of some enormous dramatic moment, but because he stopped letting his words live in a different world from his actions. Start today. Choose one thing you have said out loud and do a tiny version of it. Not tomorrow, today. Let your actions finally speak the same language as your words. That alignment, that integrity between what you say and what you do is one of the most powerful things success responds to. because it signals that you are someone who can be trusted. And success, like everything good in life, moves toward people it can trust. This separates the talkers from the builders. If you are a builder, claim it right now. My actions speak. Number 4, let go of what others think. Let us talk about what is quietly stealing your future right now: the opinions of people who do not live your life. Think about how many decisions you have made or refused to make because of what someone might think. How many times you stayed silent when you had something important to say. How many times you did not start something because you were afraid of looking foolish. How many times you made your dream smaller, safer, less visible, so it would not disturb other people. That is not caution, that is a prison, and you built it yourself. One, what will they think, at a time. Here is the hard truth. The people whose opinions you fear most are, for the most part, not thinking about you at all. Psychologists call this the spotlight effect, our natural tendency to believe we are being watched, evaluated, and judged far more than we actually are. In reality, most people are so absorbed in their own lives, their own fears, their own self-consciousness, that very little mental space remains for them to constantly think about yours. You are worried about an audience that has mostly already left. But even when people do have opinions, even when they judge, doubt, or criticize, here is what I want you to fully understand. Their opinion of you is built on their own experience, their own fears, their own ceiling. When someone tells you your dream is too big, they are not describing your limit. They are describing theirs. When someone tells you it will not work, they are not seeing your future clearly. They are seeing their past clearly. Do not let another person's limited vision become your permanent address. Marcus Aurelius was one of the most powerful men on the planet. He governed an entire empire, and even he had to remind himself of this truth. He wrote it in his private journal, not for anyone else to read, only for himself, because even he struggled with caring too much what people thought. Marcus Aurelius once said something I want you to truly hear. I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others. Read that again slowly, because that one line could save you years. If the Emperor of Rome had to remind himself of this, you can struggle with it too, but you are also capable of overcoming it, just as he was. Here is what releasing other people's opinions actually gives you in practical terms. It frees an enormous amount of mental energy, energy that was being spent managing perceptions, rehearsing explanations, pre-defending decisions that had not even been criticized yet. That energy, when it returns, flows directly into your work, your creativity, your courage. And courage, true, visible, unshakable courage, is one of the most magnetic qualities a person can carry. People are drawn to it. Opportunities follow it. Success recognizes it instantly. You do not need everyone to approve of your path. You need to approve of your path. You need to be the one person whose belief in your direction is completely non-negotiable. Start making decisions from that place, not from an imagined crowd in your head, but from the real, honest version of yourself that knows exactly where it is going and does not ask permission to get there. Let them think what they want. You go and build what you know. Someone in your life needs to see you post this today. Write it in the comments and put your whole heart into it. Their opinions expire. Number 5, trust the waiting period. This last secret is the one most people never learn in time, and it is the one that breaks my heart the most, because so many people give up right here, right at this moment, never knowing how close they actually were. Here is what I want to say directly and clearly. The waiting period is not wasted time. It is working time. Let me explain what I mean. When you plant a seed in the ground, you see nothing for a while. Days pass, sometimes weeks. The soil on the surface looks exactly the same. Nothing seems to be happening, and if you did not understand how seeds work, you might conclude that nothing is working. You might dig it up, walk away disappointed, try something completely different. But underground, quietly and invisibly, that seed is doing everything. It is building roots, creating structure, preparing for a growth that will eventually break through the surface in a way no one can ignore. Your success works in exactly the same way. In every real journey, there are seasons, seasons when nothing seems to be happening on the outside, when the numbers do not move, when recognition does not come, when the world does not confirm your efforts, and those seasons are genuinely hard. I will not pretend otherwise for a single second, but they are not empty. They are completely full of growth you cannot see yet, strength being quietly built inside you, character being formed, foundations being laid that your future success will stand on for years. The people who ultimately draw success to themselves are not always the most talented. They are not always the smartest, the best connected, or the best resourced. It is almost always those who stayed in the ground the longest when it was hardest to stay. Winston Churchill once said something I want you to truly hear. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Read that again slowly, because that one line could save you years. The courage to continue, not the talent to perform perfectly, not the luck to arrive early, but the courage to keep walking when nothing visible confirms that you should. Here is what I want you to do with this practically. The next time you find yourself in a waiting period, the next time nothing seems to be moving and the doubts get loud, instead of asking, "Is this even working?" Ask yourself a better question. Ask, "What is this season building in me right now?" Because something is always being built. Patience, resilience, clarity, that deep character that only comes from staying with something through real difficulty. All of that is being added to you, even when it is not yet showing around you. And one day, sooner than you think, though perhaps later than you want, it will break through in a visible, undeniable way that will make every hard, invisible, uncertain day absolutely worth it. Do not dig up the seed. Do not walk away from what you planted. Trust the waiting period. Stay in it. Let it finish its work. Your breakthrough is not lost. It is being built right now beneath everything you can see. If you are going through a hard season right now and showing up anyway, this is for you. Write it below. I trust the wait. Let me tell you what just happened in this video. You are not just watching. You made contact with 5 truths that most people never hear clearly in the whole of their lives. And the fact that you stayed until this moment tells me something important about you. You are the kind of person who does not give up easily, and that matters far more than you think. Because here is what I want you to take with you today. Not a list, not a recap, not 5 points to screenshot and forget by morning. I want you to take away one feeling. The feeling that success is your friend, not your opponent. It is not playing games with you. It is not showing up for everyone else while deliberately passing you by. It is simply waiting for you to clear the path. Stop chasing it as though it is running away from you. Silence the voice that whispers, "You are not good enough." Do what you promise yourself. Do not shrink yourself for people who are not even paying attention to you. And when the waiting becomes unbearable, and it will, do not walk away from what you have started. The man from the beginning of this video, the one who walked out of his office with nothing but a single decision, will tell you himself. The hardest part was never the work. The hardest part was choosing faith when there was nothing yet visible to believe in. That is exactly where you are right now, in the stage of faith before sight. And that stage, as uncomfortable as it feels, is the very place where every great story begins. Your story is not finished, it has barely begun. Now, here is what I need from you before you close this video. Hit the like button right now. If something in this video resonated with you, if something shifted even slightly inside you, show it. Leave a comment below. Tell me which of these 5 secrets you need to work on most right now. Be honest. This is a safe space, and I read every comment personally. Share this video today, not someday, today. Send it to one person who is going through a hard time and needs to hear that they are not alone and that their journey is far from over. And subscribe, because next week we go even deeper, and you will not want to miss it. You are closer than you think. You are stronger than you feel. And what is waiting for you ahead is greater than everything you have been through. Keep going. Stay the course. The attraction is already happening. Before you close this video, leave your mark here. Let the next person reading the comments feel your energy. My best is still ahead.